you do hear a commercial, what are the songs that you're hearing?
It's hip hop.
It's hip hop. Like, so the culture is just shifting that direction. They're not going to go too far. But they'll do a little something.
Well, I think it comes down to the music has always moved further that way than come back to us. Like they've always more gravitated to our artists than us gravitate to theirs. At least one of my great debates of all time is that we don't publicly gravitate to their music the same way that they publicly gravitate to us. But there's a lot of folks out here that know a whole lot of music they don't want to admit they know. But I don't know who would be like a middle ground artist because we blackety black at this point. So like we got brothers winning Super Bowls as quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? We got all these axes in it. Like when the last white person that performed at the Super Bowl halftime show was Eminem. That's in the last 5 years, only one white person has performed at all.
Damn.
So I ain't really too concerned about what they're into at this point because at no point in history has our music been the centerpiece of being featured more overtly and unapologetically than now.
Is that they usually announce it like in September, October?
Like yeah, you right know, NFL, everything the NFL is scripted. So what do we got? We got the draft coming up. So that'll ride us into midsummer when they need to steal some heat from the NBA again. And then you'll start to get into Hall of Fame. Yeah, it's like September, October, something. Hell, maybe Hov will take it for itself finally.
I was wondering if they're going to do that because Beyonce's obviously she was already dropping an album, but then Jay-Z's rumored to be dropping an album this year too.
They trying to get that album of the year.
I mean, Beyonce legit number one country song in America right now.
And I don't know if y'all noticed, Jay-Z took some shine away from Usher on. I don't know if it was purposely, accident. My conspiracy theory says that they just didn't care. What was right after the Super Bowl halftime show?
The Beyonce commercial? What?
Exactly. Why would you place that right after my performance?
I'm like, oh no, that was absolutely done on purpose. And then so that happened. So literally talking to my best friend, talking to Brandon on the phone right after the thing, and he's not looking at the TV. He's walked out of the room, and I look up and I said, "Wait, Beyonce's on," and he was like, "Doing what?" I'm like, "She got a commercial or something." And then somebody that's at his house comes in and is like, she just dropped something, and he was like, "I gotta go. She just dropped something." I ain't heard from him since. So I hope he's all right.
But she just dropped 2 songs, and the album
so she
come out next month.
But people ran to it. Now, with it being the number one country song in the country, Beyonce just dropped the song. She could have dropped a Pootie Tang song and it would have went number one because that's what's going to happen. Just like with Nicki. Nicki was number one. Of course she was. Like, she just dropped it. Everybody's downloading it.
Why they do it to Usher like that? Why? They could have waited. She ain't got to tell nobody that her song coming out. They could have let Usher have that night. Nah, they stole that man's night.
You know, Beyonce gonna leave with something.
That's what I'm saying, man. Them Carters, man. Look, I know we respect them, but man, them Carters are very self-serving a lot of times, y'all.
Hey man, why have the podium and not use it? Hold on now. What you supposed to do? Like, you supposed to have
Beyonce don't need the podium. Beyonce can literally do it anything she wants, and it's going to, like Stacey said, it's going to go number one. She's not
listen, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I got an opportunity to put my wife on, I'm putting her on every single time.
And Verizon
without any apology or half step. She's gonna thrive.
And Verizon paid for that slot.
But it's not the thrive. Your wife ain't thriving. You just hating on your wife is gonna thrive regardless.
Hey, I will hate on anybody if she going up.
My Jay shooting her.
I can't argue this one. Why ain't you hating on more people?
Look, if I was Usher, I'd be like, hey, I would have got back there like, Jay, man, why you do that, dude?
You know what Usher did?
Why y'all do that?
Usher walked out the stage, wiped that Crisco oil off his forehead, and went and got married. Got married after party.
He had to, man. He was like, I got to get a wife now, I guess, so I can have do something like that. You know,
I mean, imagine that you finish this Super Bowl performance. You're given the best performance possibly of your career, 30 years in the making, and you get off the stage and Beyonce is trending on.
Exactly.
He look at his phone like, what?
So you're like, you asking his agent, so what they saying?
Ain't nobody watching.
Beyonce just had a Verizon commercial, so they're not really saying anything.
And she's dropping 2 songs.
And she just dropped 2 songs.
Country songs.
Two country songs.
They gonna be like country. So they flocking for a country.
When did Beyonce's last album come out?
Last year.
No, 2021 one.
I mean, the end of 2022, beginning of 2022.
I appreciate that though. I be feeling like a lot of like our, I guess iconic artists and stuff like that be taking like whole Olympic cycles off now before they make more music. I'm glad she's still working. I'm
just saying, y'all Carters, I see y'all.
Hey,
and he also rocked the S. Carters to the
throwback
to the game too.
Yeah.
So I mean,
right? I'm like, where you find them at?
Jay moving on his own accord, man.
And he got a garage full of them somewhere.
Yeah, nobody buying them. Hey, but the Carters though,
he got a whole warehouse full of the ones that didn't sell.
Speaking of the Carters, doesn't Jay-Z have a son?
Yes.
Yeah, he was out there.
I didn't see him. I just see the girl.
Yeah, he was out there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, hold on, man. They hating on the boy.
Yeah, he was out there.
I just see the girls.
Yeah. But I see you though, Jay. I see you though. It's all good. Unless people get a Taylor Swift next year. That's the only wild card if we're talking about next year.
Well, they setting it up. They've been showing all season at the Chiefs games.
And it was the highest ranked Super Bowl as far as rating is concerned.
I'm sure it is. I mean, they probably
was, and it finally knocked the season or the series finale of MASH out of the top 10.
It finally beat it, huh?
So here's the thing. Some years ago, there was a Super Bowl that knocked it out. So now at this point, the top 10 most watched are all Super Bowls. And then after that is MASH. But for Super Bowl related,
non-sports.
Now,
years in the making.
Taylor Swift here. We already talked about the Carters. If we see Taylor Swift, I guarantee you there'll be 6 Beyonce commercials wrapped around this situation. There'll be a blimp. There'll be vans outside marketing her country album. Taylor, this is a setup for you now.
Oh, they buying the team.
Well, no, Taylor left country and wanted to come over to pop. So it's like, oh, okay, well, let's go ahead.
The Swifties. Don't get caught up. If she comes out, don't do it, Taylor. If you smart.
Didn't she just
announce
them
Carters over there trapping y'all? Them Carters is trapping people over there. And they would love to trap your white ass.
What if the Swifties if the Swifties and the Beehive ever join forces or go against each other?
Well, isn't what Jay-Z just did though with Beyonce's joint the same thing Taylor did with hers at the Grammys? Like she wins an award for some old music and then announces she got some new music coming out and it got like 3 million likes.
But she cannibalized herself. That's fine. If you want to do that to yourself, that's fine. That man had just got off stage and the commercial after your best performance.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is that it ain't like Jay didn't warn you. It ain't like Jay didn't warn you that he's kamikaze. Did you miss the Grammys? That was a week ago. Jay don't care, man. He's not here to. Jay
He probably told Usher when he gave him the call, let him know he was doing this halftime show. He's like, look, after the show, I'm showing the commercial for B.
But you know who's, but Usher might be on the most aggressive marketing spree right now of any artist alive, though, too. Like that, he's rolling it out. Like to take what he did with that Vegas residency and like make that be what it is, to drop in like new joints that's kind of like feels like old joints, to then doing the Super Bowl and then being like, I'm hitting the tour as well. Right. Like Usher is on it right now. Like
this is his time.
It's like he been in the game for so long that you like, man, Usher had his prime. Usher might be just stepping into it just now, which is crazy as hell to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And think about that drama he went through. When was that drama on him? He was getting like, it was like 12 lawsuits, all that going on. Was that
the herpes?
Yeah, but was it with the late 2000s or with the early 2010s?
That was about 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, like Usher had like a little 5-year window where it was kind of like, damn, man, we lost Usher.
Hey, this cool ass Scott from the I Love 90s Music Podcast. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like it on the SOLC Network. You finna get all the real deal on the 90s, the 2000s, and the splash of that 80s. Do it right now, man, and I'll be your friend.